This is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some more game creation. I was told myself I wasn't going to say that because it's obvious that's what this is. We're on episode 17 of this, which you know how long is that? They're generally about 3 hours, so 51 hours. So like a professional is like a week and a half or something. So I keep judging myself like I haven't gotten anything done. In reality, if I was working 40 hours a week on this, we would be quite far along. Obviously, if I was a professional too, it would be farther along, even farther along, because I wouldn't be struggling with no knowledge. Lack of knowledge is definitely a thing that I am struggling with. I am still doing the C sharp basic tutorials that I found online, like the Microsoft ones. I'm level 4 now. I was level 3 before. I don't know how many levels there are, so it doesn't it doesn't really matter. Did they max at 20? Who knows? They're 2,000, and I'm in the very very basic stuff. Anyways, today we actually have a bunch of things that we are going to do. Oh, I also got a rocket launch that I'm keeping an eye on the other monitor here. There's the first 3D printer rocket is supposed to be launched today. So we might glance at that, if it ever counts down, if it ever happens. But this is what we got going today, and we already did most of, like these top three, I think, are done. So maybe make the array.county name into a list. I'm pretty sure we did that. Oh, I didn't open up anything. Arrays. I think we did that last time, just in a flurry, not a fury, a flurry of things. We just jumped into it, and I thought we were having some issues here. We were not having issues. It's just whatever. Yeah, we did that already. So we can go and we can mark this off, which is great. It's a great start to my whole, like, how I love marking things off. A great start for the stream. We've already got one done. And then faction name, get out of here. Faction names should be a list. We already did that too. So we got two things. Like, we just started. We're like, whatever. 2 minutes in and we've already accomplished two things. It's because we did it last time. So there's those things off the list. Then there's this next thing: add name to county public class, which is what is this other stuff? Oh, I put some notes in. I when I was offline, I was looking at stuff. I put a notes folder in and I just stuck some notes in about where to get counties because we're going to need counties here. One of the things that's interesting is I thought this was just some pixelated garbage along this county line. I don't know if I said that. Obviously, it's pixelated to a point because we're zoomed in so much, but it's not. The county line is actually all jagged like that because that's humans. That's what we do is weird shit. It's because there's like mountains and things in there. The same with this. I was looking at some other states and they were like perfect squares because Kansas is just one big flat plane or something. Anyways, I'm gonna start some music for myself. I'm gonna listen to Prick again. That seems to be my new programming. Prick is the name of the band. My new programming thing for now. I wonder if it like significantly affects how loud I talk if I'm shouting. Oh, I also changed this around a little bit. I can't remember if this is the way that was suggested or not, but I kind of like this where then this is set up and then there's a special, because you're not always messing with this project thing. It's usually these two, and it saves a little bit of space. So my other computer, the monitor's bigger. Not that that matters. I'm not sure why I'm bringing that up. I have a little bit of coffee left too, which is good. But this music's a little loud actually. But we got to get back on track here. I want to get some actual stuff. I want to get to the resources. I don't think we'll have time for that, but that's what I want to do. I suddenly wanted to check something over here. Okay, just double checking what I did here. Add county to the public class. So what we're talking about here is we can have a name of the county in here. And I think I'm just going to kick this one down the road because I'm not sure we need that. And so I'll just like put it somewhere. Here we go. Remove create army button if you can't create an army in that county. So what that's talking about is, so what we did last time actually is if you hit play here, it now generates all of a list with the county name and a game object. In here, it's called, I don't know what it's called. It's called something. And I also, last time I was really agonizing over like, how do we make it so that all the info for the counties is attached to the game object? And the minute I was done streaming, I was like, holy shit, we just do it like this faction thing that we have here. So we might do that at some point, not today. It's not like relevant today. Well, there's gonna be so much cleanup on this game. Like, we're just baby stepping our way, blundering our faces into stuff. I shouldn't have picked these blue colors because they could be ocean. We'll deal with that later too. So we're just like blundering our way through stuff, barely accomplishing anything. And so there's going to be multiple times we're going to go back over the code. Because that's just how it is. We're getting things done and then we're fixing them later. Once again, I think this is probably the worst way to program it since I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. We're gonna do it my way. What are we doing next? Okay, so what we're talking about here is this thing. We hit play. The only place that we own, well, we can click on this is what is going on here? There we go. The only place that we own should be... Oh, I changed some things around. Let's fix this. We want to own Portland. Oh, actually, we do own Portland, but the Lord Haywire is getting generated in the wrong spot. But so since we're the shipbirds, the create army button should only appear in the places we own, which is currently the shipbird, which is currently just Portland. So that's the first thing on our list here of like minor things to do. And I actually think I know, I'm going to glance at this real quick. Where is my world map load? So what I did here was I changed faction 0 is now the shipbirds. What does this 1 do? I forget. New population. What? I don't remember what that's for. Maybe we'll do this later. It doesn't really matter what the names of shit is. Names of shit is if player faction equals faction name, which is just something we stuck in here. Faction 0. There we go. We can fix this. Where are we looking at this list, though? That list is in the inspector, so I still haven't really adjusted to this. Okay, yeah, so faction 0 is the shipbirds. Let's hit play on this. That could have just fixed it right there. A lot of this stuff is temporary until we have like the character creation stuff set up. The shipbirds, there's Lord Haywire. Boom. This button doesn't do anything yet. This button does. Wow, that was a weird blue flash. There we go. We got our populations in there. Lord Haywire's at the top because that's me. Same with this one. Let's just double check some stuff. Everybody's here. Perfect. So yeah, we need to make it so that like, hey, if you click on this button, which is going to be under select county, where the fuck that is. If you click select county, it's going to not show. This was some bullshit. What does it say? This makes it so the enable resets the hero, and this works though, so I guess we're gonna leave that there. Panel changes. So this is the panel changes we're talking about, but what's first here? Fill county info panel, deselect army on left on county left click. Okay, so we're gonna on this panel changes is what we're gonna do. We're gonna need an if statement. If player, oh, we don't have player faction in here. Is this a, what did we, oh, I know how we can get to this, but I want to look at what did we make player faction? Is it a public thing? It is a public thing. Okay, so what we can do here, if, I don't know why this is down at the bottom, but that's what we're gonna do. Instance dot player faction is equal to the current, we need the current faction so we need to pull that. I just had to think how that worked. We need to pull that from a list, which is basically one of these things. So the list here, we already have a list. It's counties. Is it called counties? Yes, it's called counties. I don't know. Oh, right. We need instance on here. Instance.counties name dot faction dot name. Yeah, except I don't. Okay. So if the player faction, because currently there's only one player, we're gonna make it so eventually we're gonna have it so that we'll do multiplayer with 10 people, but that's so fucking far down the road that it doesn't even matter at this point. It's 100 years from now. So we just have this temporary thing in here. I just try to explain what I'm doing so that people can either criticize me or maybe be like, oh, okay, now I understand what the fuck he's doing here. So we have this temp thing until we do character creation. So faction 0 dot name is from that same list, and we're assigning it to the player faction. That'll be, I mean, this will work. This select county thing will work. If it's equal, then we're gonna need that button to be turned on. We'll set it so that that button is off to start with. So let's go to the UI panel here, and we're gonna go to county info panel, and we're gonna turn this thing here, army creation button will be turned off. And then we need something on here. What is this thing? Oh, we need another script on here, and we need a script that says like, hey, this is the button. My coffee's cold. You know, I was wondering this the other day, so let's try it. If you do new script, it always sticks it in the assets part. It sticks it right here, and I hate that. And I was like, I wonder if you just type in the path, it will do it. If you go like scripts, no, it doesn't. I wonder if there's a way to change that, because I don't like that. I want this to be in. I don't think. I don't know where that would be. Let's Google it. Oh, how's this launch going? We're at 33 minutes before the launch happens. They had to push it back because something happened. I forget what. There was wind or something. Unity. Default script location. Script templates are stored in editor path, data, resources, script templates. If you want to change the initial script, you can. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Change default script folder. You know, Stack Overflow was down earlier. Said it was under getting maintenance. Okay. Well, maybe we can get it from this part. Unity's new asset first, the new scripts will. Wait, what is it saying? It wants it. I select this. No, it doesn't. It's full of shit. Let's try it. What the fuck is this? This is create army button. We're actually, so it's kind of tempting to not do this because we're not going to create armies this way. We're sort of. We might rename this. Yeah, I don't like it how it does that. This is a UI script anyways. We'll take care of this. I'm like tempted to not take care of this. I always put UI at the front because I get like confused. I get confused easily. And so I like have like I'm way over like this thing. Look at that beautiful name. I'm copying this. We'll put this in here. Because this is wrong now. And if you want to have pain in your life, you'll have those different. And we'll get rid of this shit and this shit. You know, should we do this now? Yeah, we'll just do it now. We'll have to change it later. Basically, so we're gonna have like a muster army button. You're going to create the army later, and then you're going to muster your army, and then it's going to take time. Just like CK3. All right, you know what we can do here? Let's rename this fucking thing. Muster army button. Is that what it's, how you spell that? Muster. Assemble troops. There we go. Just, I can't spell shit, so I have to double check my life here. Then we're going to go to the text, and this is going to say muster army. We can just make this correct now, which is really what it's going to do, because you're going to create an army a different way. We're going to have heroes units, and you're going to attach troops to the heroes units, and then they're going to go from there. So army, muster army. I usually put the text at the end of this so that if I ever have to drag shit around. So is this, that could have broke something, but it also, you know what it could have done is, let's click on something here and double check. It might not, the button might not be big enough. I guess I could have just turned it on. Well, we made it go away. Oh, right, because it wasn't turned on. We can just turn on this thing and see how it looks. That looks fine. Okay, so back to our script here. We're going to rename this since. And then I kind of wish that this was just linked, but maybe there's a reason why it's not linked to the name. There's things that I don't understand, you know. We're going to rename this thing. I'm hitting F2, I think. I hit Control S. Okay, this thing's gone because I got too much shit open here. We don't need all colors open. We're going to change how we do those colors. New behavior script. Get the fuck out of here. Random color faction, that works. I just picked 10 random colors, and I already see issues with the 10 random colors. We only have 7 provinces right now, or sorry, counties. We're gonna have about 500 when we're done. But right now, because I live in Oregon and I hate Washington, just there's like these weird, you know, nationalism things that happen. Like if you live on the west side of Portland, you're supposed to hit the east side, and if you're on the east side, you're supposed to hit the one. And fuck the people in North Portland, just fuck them. Southwest Portland, fuck those people. And then you expand out from there. I actually read this book. What is it called? The Hodge. Leon Trotsky? No way, that's his name. Uh, Leon Ernst. Leon Trotsky's like the communist guy. I was like, that's not his name. Leon Ernst. Uh, it's interesting in that book. So it talks about like the Middle East a lot, and there's like this thing where like their nationalism starts with like it's brother against brother, but then above that is family versus other families, which is then towns versus other towns, and then cities versus other city, and like this thing, and that happens in here too. Like I was just saying, uh, Portland, you can't like the people on the east side if you live. I live on the east side now, so I hate the people on the west side. And then it's just stupid nationalism. And people who live in Vancouver, Washington, hate those motherfuckers. Just hate them. There's no reason. Just do. Anyways, so we're making this take place in Oregon to start out, and then we'll add Washington in, so we can go to war with them. But right now, we just need these 7 provinces to test stuff out. And so, back to our, we gotta load it up here. Muster army button. So we got this empty thing, and we need a public button. And it's going to be called muster army button, not with a period. And then on awake, then we're going to need a public. I wonder where I should be putting these let's put it at the top. We're going to need a public static UI muster. Yep. See, this one's making it capital. If anyone knows, tell me. Are these supposed to be capital or lowercase when you do instance? I've been doing lowercase, but this sense of code, whatever, and that would be a quick fix. So, but I'd rather fix it now than later. So then on awake, we'll just have, yep, exactly. This thing knows me. It knows me so well. So we're going to have this button that we can do stuff to, and we're going to do some stuff to it. And select county. Back to, where was this place? Panel changes. If this is this, we're going to go to UI muster. I guess, is that? Yeah, we're fucking with the UI. What did we call that thing? Muster army button. Why can I never remember the set active thing? Is it equals set? No, it's dot set. I never can remember. Oh, it's right here. It's literally right there. Active. It doesn't seem to like this. Maybe I can't turn that button that way. Maybe I have to do it differently because it's a button. What are my choices? Man, I would have killed. Is interactable. We're going to be using in a second. I would have killed for this level of help 30 years ago when I was in my C plus class or whatever the fuck it was, or C. Enabled. That's what we want. It's exactly what it says. No, not exactly what it says. We want it to be true. Else, to stop that. We get these weird like lag spikes. Oh wow, I'm actually getting some frame drops too occasionally. Huh. Maybe I should have rebooted my computer before I started. This is my old computer. So now I have 2 computers, one set up for video game streaming and one set up for this. I just reset this to see. Last night it said I was losing some frames on my new video game computer, which blows my mind. So then once this is set to true, though, well, let's test it out. We saved this shit. We did. Let's click play. Hey, maybe it'll just work. Sometimes it does. We got a broken thing. That's okay because I know where the broken thing is. It's right here. And in inspector, we want to put this here. And now we're going to have not broken stuff. No. Still broken stuff. What do you think? What are you thinking here, buddy? What is not set to an? Oh, it's because it's already off, maybe? I didn't think that mattered. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's leave this in active here. Just I didn't think. It does matter. Who knows? There's so many things. All right, so that works on that one, but this one, it's not turning it off, and we're not getting any console errors there. Select county. On click, it should go to panel changes. The county's name. If the player faction is equal to that, else. Okay, but it never turns it off. That's the issue. So once it's on, it's never off. So no, it should be turning it off there. We have our other stuff. Um, this is a surprising development here. This is set to true. That is set to false. If player faction is equal to name, let's make sure that this is, maybe we're getting some faction weirdness. Whenever I'm like, whenever I'm positive that something should work perfectly, it does not do that. Okay. It's also interesting. So when I stream video games, this happens too, and when I watch people play video games, it seems obvious from the outside world what's going on. Okay, it's because that's open to start with. So my first idea was right, but then I get a bug because it's not. It's because the script isn't turned on. That's the issue. So what's happening is when you do the click, the script isn't turned on because this isn't enabled. So we're gonna move this to we're gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna add it to here. What the fuck was that called? Muster. There we go. And then we're gonna drag this into here, and then we're gonna hit play. No, we're not. I mean, we did, but we shouldn't have. And then we're going to unhit play here, and we're going to go to this and turn this off. It's because it couldn't get to the script to turn it on or off. All right, so it's not there. Are we getting any bugs? This should be. Can we look at this somewhere? Oh, we're turning this on. And oh. which that doesn't do us any good if this is off. Yeah, that doesn't do us. We just need a game object that we need. Why? What does this do? It doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, maybe it's just not a button now? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so there's a bunch of fuck-ups on this. We're almost done with this, though. So go back to this thing. And this shouldn't be a button. This should just be a game object. A gamer object. And so I know this is redundant, but I always like I said, I like to have these crazy long things. I should have, let's do it this way. Code readability is really important to me because I can't remember what I'm doing ever, I say. So every time we do something, I have to remember what everything does, and I can't do it. So I need to, like, without having to track through the code what this shit is, I need to be able to read it right here. You know, I go, okay, what the fuck is this? This is an instance, this is a button or a game object? It's a game object, etc., etc. So I think that should solve our problems. I take that back. We're going to have a lot of problems. Let's see. Oh, we changed the variable name. That's another pet peeve of mine. Where did we put that thing? Is that I wish if you changed the variable name and it'd remember, but probably if it did remember, I'd be complaining about that. We should probably call this. Didn't I change the name of that? Does this happen to just cut off right there? Oh, it does. Okay, so we got that one. It's off. Here we go. It's all working. Does this button still work? It still works. There we go. And this stuff is still working. Where we got an army list. We got our whatever here. Everything's working great. What is this thing I see flashing in the corner? Okay, that's what we want that to flash in the corner. Okay. Another thing taken care of. So we are on to our next item. See, that was easy. What did I say? I said that would be cake. Everything's easier every time I stream, until I run into those things that are like awful. Okay, so here's the issue with this. It's not like an issue. It's not like a bug. Oh, we can get rid of that thing too. We don't need that debug log. Where did I put that? Select. That was just temporary. I guess I could have just done whatever. Only took 30 minutes. All right, so what's happening is, I changed some code while the game was running. You're not supposed to do that, but I do it all the time. Okay, so what's happening is, let's say this population thing is open. You can actually still click on these things in the background, and we don't want that to be able to happen. Like, those don't do anything. So let's do this one. Let's put this population thing. So you see, you can click muster army, and I think you can even click. Yeah, you can click around on this stuff. So basically, I just thought of an easier way to do this. What I was going to do was I was going to make each one of these, each button, I was going to turn off the interactability so so you couldn't do it. You couldn't click on the things behind, but I just thought of an easier way to do that. We could just turn on a clear panel that blocks the clicking. Someone's probably like, don't do it that way. I say this all the time on my streams. There's somebody who will someday be like, good God, that's the worst option you could do, but that's what we're going to do. So when the population panel, no, it's not the, it is the population panel is open. In this for the UI, it goes from the bottom up on how things work. So when the population panel is open, when it's set active, we want to, well, let's think about this here. I don't want to do a bunch of panels. There might be an easier way to do this. The county info panel should also, no, the county info panel, we want people to be able to click on different stuff. Okay, the muster army button is fine. The army info panel, what are we're doing with that? Oh, that's this little panel here. That's this panel. Wonder why we have, wonder why it's on its own. What I mean is it's not a child of this one. Oh, because it's not a, no, it is. Why was I just put it underneath here? Is that gonna just bust everything? Doesn't seem to. All right, well that solves that problem. So this is what we need when this is open. Yeah, when this is open, when the population info panel is open, we want a blank panel that just, or clear panel, blank and clear, that covers up all this shit, so you cannot close it. Or so you cannot click on anything behind it. So that actually isn't that big of a deal, because we just can put another panel in here. We can put another, we can just put a create UI panel, and we can call this like whatever, click blocker. And what we can do, and so like I said, there might be a better way to do this, but this seems like the laziest way to do this. And that's my key thing is laziness here. Actually, I want this to be smaller. Let's see. We want this, but we want this to be like that. So the player can't tell that that's what's going on. And we're going to want this off. I wonder if you can... I'm trying to think of the... Oh, you know what we could do, actually? There's an easier way to do this. I was thinking for a second we would turn this one off and on, but actually we can just make a child of this. And I think if we put it at the top like this, if we put it at the top like this, these ones will be clickable and this one will be, but like, so it's ordered in the bottom up, if I remember correctly. We can test it right now. Let's put this up and see if we can click on stuff. And if we can't, then we'll move it to the bottom and vice versa. We probably need our game panel a little bigger here. So population panel. Yeah, that doesn't work. But the close does. So that's it. That was so fucking easy. What did that take me? That was like 5 minutes. And it's like so lazy. It's like the lazy is easy. We're going to find some major fucking issue with that later. We're going to be like, why the fuck doesn't this work? And it's going to be because of that. Okay, so that was fucking easy and done. Okay, pause time function when a panel is open. So this one's going to be a little bit more complicated. Basically, what's going on is when I say a panel, I'm talking about the population info panel again. When you click on something here, the time in the background, which is running right there, should stop. you don't want time to be running, and then when you close the panel, it should open again. So this is also going to be in the select province script. I don't know why I accidentally clicked on the wrong area there. Where it's going to say like, hey, no, it's going to be on this population, whatever script is attached to that thing. Let's look. UI population info. I think this is a pretty no. Population list clone. What the fuck is this stuff? I don't remember. See, this is exactly what this is for the normal population. The currently selected county is null, dipshit. Close button. So like this close button is going to be one thing. So on enable, this is another thing where I kind of want to break these into methods so that it's easier, more readable. It's kind of hard, like, because so you know what's going on here. So what is going on here? If this is not equal to null, okay, yeah, and if it is equal to null, it says you're a dipshit. That's perfect. It's instantiating all of these things. So we're going to add a new thing. Do we want it above this? On enable, what are we doing? We are pausing time. On enable, you know, there's also like on disable too. Yeah, we'll use on disable. I think I was saying this in another stream. I think this is the first time I've used. I'm pointing at my screen again. It's very useful. I've used on enable. So on enable, we got a time thing somewhere. Oh, you know, I did upgrade Unity to 10, so we should upgrade that. We have a timekeeper script somewhere. We don't need army movement open. We don't need select army open. We don't need create army open. This actually should probably be called muster army at this point. And so I don't get sidetracked, let's add that as a rename script create army to muster army or something like that. And we can close that. That we're going to be working UI info. We don't need that. Like we have we don't need this muster thing and UI army panel. We don't need that right now. Population info panel. What the fuck are we doing? Pause time. Okay, we need my timekeeper function. So that should be under the controller. We can close this thing. It's called timekeeper, as you would expect. So how did we do this? We're trying to get away from all these static float things because you don't want them. Basically, you want less of them. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's just so that it's less. I don't know why. So let's fix that while we're here. So this is going to break a bunch of shit, but that's okay. We're going to get, whoa. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this. And then in awake, no, we're not. We're going to put it up here. Because this is where I decided I was doing my public static shit. Timekeeper instance. See, this one, it's lowercase because it's learning from me, I guess. And then in awake, we'll do instance equals this. And why aren't you breaking? Why did I make these public if we're not using them? Well, that's weird. Yeah, here we go. Here's the breakage that we've been expecting. So let's jump to, oh, it's because I closed all those scripts because I was like, we don't need this shit. We're going to need to put instance, and we can just copy this thing. I'm going to put this in here. Yeah, give us some jumping around here. We want these to be interactive. So the thing with the time, the main reason why we got to keep track of the same time and everything is because otherwise they're like counting off the time slightly off, and you know that somebody's going to notice that in your video game. They're going to be like, why are these numbers not lining up? Even though it could be 1 second off, you know someone's going to notice that shit. So that's why what are we looking for here? Why is this so far over here? Can't read that shit. We got to have this line up. Let's make this a different. What's weird is I figured out, or not figured out, in that we won't fuck with it right now. But I was gonna say there's another way to do. See how this has this. Oh, okay. So you see what I've got going on here? This is wrong. Not wrong. It's just you can do a dollar sign in front of this, I think, and it would solve all of these. You wouldn't have to do string format. Maybe you do. We can probably remove current time at some point, but right now for testing, let's leave this. Let's do this. Double check if we can replace string.format with just dollar sign. We'll put that in there. We'll copy this and we'll make a. Someone messaged me. Why are people? Oh, is someone telling me the launch is on? We got 1 minute until the. Oh, they paused it at 1 minute. Fuck. That's what's happening with this thing. Is that the timekeeper script? Army movement. It's still. Why do I have Discord open? They stopped it at 1:09. Fucking assholes. I would like launch rockets to launch. I was joking with my friends. I was saying like, how are we gonna colonize Titan if we can't even get a goddamn launch off the first 3D printed? It's a little bit of wind makes them stop. It's very touchy, a very touchy thing. This is different than my basic C# tutorial that I did. So I actually don't. What is this? Let's just delete this thing. This is different. We'll leave it there. We'll see. We'll leave that in there. Like, there's gonna be, like I said, there's gonna be cleanup and stuff. What the fuck are we doing? We are pause time. How are we pausing time currently? We can. It doesn't seem like this. This is the time. Pausing time currently works with spacebar and a button. Holy shit, if I use that instance thing, I wonder if I can just say like, hey, oh wow, I've been making static ones. I sounded so excited. I am. How are we doing the unpausing though? Pause with spacebar. When we get to like 30 seconds on this rocket, I'll pull it over here. I'm just trying to keep a corner of my eye. I don't know. Maybe it's bullshit. I don't have Kerbal Space 2 yet, so Where's my little, where's the thing we're working on here? So we could, I think we can do this. Time, yeah, you were right. Dot instance time speed 0. Oh, they added a second on to the. It was at 109. They added a second on the launch. What about it? Why are these public? Well, this one definitely needs to be public. What is it about this one? Okay, that one's private. Let's do this. So then on private, void on disable. That's a thing, right? No, I don't want to destroy the game object. I don't ever want to destroy any game objects. Now I got my music stopped. So I don't know what's gonna happen if I stream me streaming a YouTube thing. It's not a reaction. Then if we go to time, what do we call it? Space bar or some shit? We're just looking at it. Pause with space bar. Oh, I must have made that one private. I don't think that's gonna work. It is private. How are we doing this here? If modified time scale is greater than 0, do that. What do we need this thing for? I feel like this is some weird jank that I stuck together here. I'm trying to watch if this thing, the countdown starts again while at the same time looking at chat, while at the same time looking at this. This is what we want, but I don't think. I don't think it should be called pause with spacebar. It should just be called like unpause. And this doesn't mean anything anymore. I think last time I tried to watch this launch, it was like a couple of days ago or last week or something. This is where they got to as well, and then they bailed. So that needs to be public so that we can do unpause right here. Yep, 9:10 is what I wanted. Hey, it's counting down again. Should we look at this? I'm a big space dork. I am. Here, this is muted. We can unmute it and see what they're saying. I don't know, I'll probably get like some. Got 20 seconds. I'll probably get like a copyright strike or something for this, but I don't care. We want to check it out, you know? Oh, you guys can't hear this. What's it doing? Oh, no. Oh, they held it at 0. Well, I guess the
as you can see, we had ignition of our engines, but the T-clock did hold at T0. We're going to stand by for updates.
Well, they got farther this time. For a second, it kind of looks like it's pointed this way. I think it's so this thing, for this, I learned this from the last time, is kind of leaned back. So this is probably straight up, and this thing is leaned back. Yes, this is a Unity stream. We're looking at this log. We'll give it like 30 more seconds. This is the problem with new rocket launches, is they're not very reliable, but they did get farther this time. This is, like I said, this is some 3D rocket that they just printed. They printed it 3D. I think they said last time it was 82% or something printed 3D. So you can see stuff coming off of it. Not like that's supposed to be coming off of it. I'm gonna take a quick break after this. Maybe I'll go while I take a break. I'll just leave this up. Of course, I'll miss the fucking launch when that happens. I'll give it like I said, like 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds, and then I'll go take a quick break, and then I'll come back, and we'll continue on our own rocket launch. I don't know. So I was gonna say this earlier, like I both want it to blow up and not blow up, if that makes sense. Like I want it to succeed, but I also want to see a rocket blow up. I mean, there's no people in there, so it's not like I want people to die. I definitely 100% want this thing to succeed, because it's a much cheaper way to make rockets than we currently do with 3D printing. But I also want to see like the primate in me wants to see explosions. Yeah, it's hard to tell that thing is. In fact, that thing doesn't look. I wonder why. It's like the angle. You can hear like the wind blowing and stuff. I wonder what this flame thing's. Oh, is that so they can see the wind? I wonder. They don't need.
I'm hearing from Mission Control that we're currently assessing vehicle health to confirm if we can do a recycle today and try this thing one more time.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, and then I will be. I'm gonna leave this up though while I'm on my break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. And god damn it, I hope I don't miss this thing.
Announcement on CountdownNet. This is the LD. The aborted terminal count on a launch commit criteria violation at T-minus 0.5 seconds prior to liftoff. Are safing the vehicle and assessing recycle opportunities.
As you heard, once again, we had a violation with our launch commit criteria, which is why we had an abort shortly before liftoff. The team is continuing to assess vehicle health to confirm if we can have a recycle today.
All right, so let's go back to what we were doing while we wait. Okay, what the fuck were we doing? Oh yeah, we were done with this. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's test it. Oh, I still have the sound going of the rocket. Maybe we'll leave that on, and we'll that way we can listen to see if they say it's gonna recycle or not. Let's hit play and see what happens to the time here while we wait. So basically, when this population thing pops up, we got the time going there. It should stop. Then when we close it, it should start again. It did not. So how does on disable work? Let's go back and test our spacebar. Maybe the spacebar has been broken since we started. I don't know. Space. You know what I think, honestly, is we need to put this unpause. I hear a noise coming from the thing. We need to call this something else. It's not going to be unpause. It's space to pause. We called it that because when you hit space, you haven't pushed a button, so it isn't keeping track of stuff. So we need this to be called at the beginning and at the end. And so it's pause and unpause. Pause and unpause. What? We're going to put this at the beginning. 2. And that seems dumb, like a dumb name. Man, I should have been using on disable more. Okay, so that pauses it, and then it's back again. Perfect. That was easy too. What the fuck, man? This has been happening a lot lately. We've been getting lucky with the easy shit. Okay, so that was done as well. How long have I been streaming?
Like, we're currently at 14:50 Eastern time, and our launch window is open until 1600 Eastern. So our teams are currently assessing any recycle opportunities that we have during this time.
Okay, so now we're gonna do. We can do this one first. Let's do resources. This is going to be kind of a clusterfuck. The ones we're going to do today, yeah, so we're going to do influence, money, scrap, and food to start. Food's going to come before scrap, probably. And so this is going to be resources that we need. And we're going to put them on this bar up here like you do in most of these games. We're going to... So currently we have a population that can't do anything because they don't have any way to like influence anything. So we are going to need this resources next, and then once we have resources going, we can put like, they can build buildings to give us resources, more resources, but we need empty resources to start. This actually, well, this won't be white. Oh, you know what I wanted to look at? I wanted to look at something that I forgot about. Do I still have this? I do. I wanted to let's look at Tales of Ireland over here. I have a screenshot of CK3. No,
You'll see an occasional cloud coming out of the transporter erector or the black truss structure there. That is just because we're creeping our propellant topped in case we can re-attempt a launch before the end of the window today at 4 p.m. Eastern.
okay. So look at all of their look at all of their different colors in CK3. This is Tales of Ireland. It's a mod for CK3. So see how they like kind of color coded a little bit? We want to do that. I don't know why. I was just thinking about this. It doesn't matter. Why are we doing that? We don't need to look at that shit right now. It's unimportant to what we're doing. The first thing we got to do is make a decision here, which is going to be, so currently in our county, where's our county? We have this faction thing that is attached to each county. And in this faction thing, open up, motherfucker. We just have the name and the color of the faction. We're going to put in them in here, but do we need to have each county holding all this information? I feel like we don't.
As you can see, the T clock rolled back. We are still working on a recycle, so we'll keep you updated as soon as we have confirmation.
How far did they roll it back? 45 minutes. Okay, well, we're never going to see this today. So we can close that. Well, I mean, we might, but it's very unlikely. So we can go back to me listening to music that you can't hear. And okay, so this is what my conundrum. If we look at the controller, we have all these different factions, but part of do we need to store in the county? Does each county need to know this? It doesn't need to know that info. And this is kind of like a thing I was a little worried about when we were setting this up. It needs to know the color and the name. But the other faction information, it doesn't need to know that, and we don't need to store that in every list. So every list with county, we don't need to store all this other information. So we should probably, I'm out of coffee there. We should probably rename this to something else. And then in the faction, the real faction one will reference this one. That's the way we'll do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to rename this. This is going to bust a bunch of shit. This is going to be... I should just call it like faction name and well, what did we go? What did we go? Okay, so we're going to rename this faction name and color. Man, why is that typing so slow? And then this is going to be colors. Oh, wait, not that way. Factions. Oh, I think I already fucked us. I have not fucked us. Okay, so that is going to be that. This is going to be this. Oh, it did it for us. Okay, no, of course it did it for us, but this is not going to do it on this one. We go to project. I call this public classes, but it probably should not be called that. We can rename this. I don't know why F2 doesn't work a lot of times the first time I hit it. Yeah. Okay, faction name and color is in there. So now we're going to create a new script here in this public classes, and it's going to be called faction. And then we'll have a factions as well. Get this shit out of here just now. Just this shouldn't be that bad. We'll get rid of this crap. Get rid of this crap. Get rid of this crap. Do we need this? No. And then we're gonna do. How did we do that on this other one? I think we call it serializable. That's what we do. And we'll save this. And the first thing we're going to need is a public faction name and color in here. That's a very long variable, but then we're going to need faction. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little thing in here. Like I said, I like things very, and we can put this in the inspector, actually. I forget how to do that. Well, let's do that. Let's put this in the inspector. There's a way to do it, where you can put titles in the inspector. Oh, yeah, this should work because we're doing it serializable. Unity, put titles in script for inspector. This is the dumbest search I've ever done. Header, it's the header attribute. Okay, it worked. It got me where I wanted to go. Okay, so we do this. We go header, resources, and that's it. That's all we do. Except for that. And then the first public resource is going to be an int. And it's going to be called influence. What's your problem here, buddy? You don't want that? Okay. Then we're going to do public int. I'm going to call it money for now. And then we're going to do public int food and public int scrap. The three most important will be this one, and the third one will be scrap. Then we're going to do public faction. Oh, look at that. Look at that thing. Yeah, do that. Oh my God. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay. So we can look at my county one. I always type new in front of this because that's how I saw it do it. But see how it did this one? Where is this thing? Let's put these next to each other. I didn't mean to tear this off. Let's put a little note in here. And if anyone knows which way is better, tell me in the YouTube comments or in my chat or whatever. Scream at me. Do something. Is this better than saying new variable equals new variable? I was going to put a semicolon at the end there. Okay, so I think that's all we're going to need for this part. I was thinking, like, is this going to work? This is not attached to anything. I mean, it wrote that whole part for me. And we're not going to, you can't, this is a public thing, so we can't, I don't think we can attach it here. How did we do the faction one? We have to keep referencing. So this faction one is here. Oh shit, we renamed it so everything broke. The shit birds. It's the one problem with that's well, not the one problem, but I guess we shouldn't be renaming variables all the time, but our classes or whatever. But I rename them all the time. That's not enough. We want one more. Hmm. Okay, so we have. So how did we do this one? Let's double check. This is in world map load. All we have is just a list that's created there. How are we going to keep track of the AI factions? We are going to keep track of the. Is there anywhere else this is used in this script? Why did you just get all freaked out? I must have like hit enter. What the fuck, man? It's right here. This might still be on my clipboard. It is. Okay. Somehow I deleted that. I don't know how. Do we need to keep track of? We do. The AI is going to have to encounter this shit too. So we are going to have to keep track of this. How are we? Well, let's do this and we can look at this. I'm like at the very, well, not at the very edge. I'm at a part of my knowledge where this is going to be a list, factions equals new. Now let's look, because we made that serializable. Let's look what this gives us. I think we're gonna not need that, honestly. Yeah, we don't need this. We don't need this here anymore. Um, why does this look like this here? I saw. Oh, why does that? Is that doing that? I mean, it's not the end of the world or anything. This is Camelback or whatever it's called. Oh, I know where we need to look. Here it is. Oh God, is that gonna break that all again? Oh God, don't do that. So this is the thing I'm thinking about, though. Yeah, we broke that because I renamed it again. God damn it. What a pain in my ass. We can put... Here we go. We can do it this way. We could also name that something else. We'll call this... Then we'll hit this plus button a bunch of times. So we just have to change less shit. Okay, so we need to make... This is what we need to do. Whoops. What? 3, 4, 5, 6. What we need is this faction name and color needs to equal this one. Or we need to get rid of this and have, but see, each county is storing when are we assigning what that is? Like, where are we assigning that to the, it's thing it's in the random color generator thing. Is that's on the controller as well here. You know what? They may not equal. What I'm thinking here is they may just be assigning that shit to the other one. Like right now, this could be getting assigned there, but we don't actually know if they're equivalent. You know what I mean? Like if we change one, it's not going to change the other. I mean, I guess I could change this to something, but I don't think it's not set to update anyways. Yeah. When we change these. Like we don't have anything anywhere saying that this faction 3. Oh, it is changing. It's okay that we got a bug because that's a different issue for a different day. It is. Where are we assigning that then? Where are we telling it that this one is this one? It's got to be under this county's dictionary. We're telling it right here. Can I, this is going to be a weird question. Can I drag this like down into here? No. So this being a serialized field, this part isn't that useful. So we can turn that off. That's okay. The influence, it'll be nice to be able to edit this up here. It's almost, I almost feel like we should start another game object here that's called like faction controller or something. But we'll leave it here for now. We can. So somehow I need to assign faction 0 is the shipbirds into here. These need to match. Not match, they actually need to be connected. We don't want this to just say the shipbirds. We want it to actually be the shipbirds, if that makes sense. So that any changes to that are reflected across the board. And so we have that right here. We can't drag this in, it doesn't look like. We can't. I don't see a way to do it. So what we're going to do, I wonder why this doesn't like flip out if I don't put stuff in here. I don't know. We're, like I said, we're way past the edge of my knowledge here, so we got to keep like, I just got to like test and stuff. All right, create county dictionaries. I'm going to do a new thing here. I don't remember what we were doing with this, so I'm just going to get rid of it. That's my thing. If I don't know what it is and there's no notes, just get rid of it. Okay, so on start, we'll create the county dictionary. We'll create the population. Assign faction name and color to faction. Look at this. Look at this dumb fucking name I just created. All right, we're going to do that because I love that shit. You know me. We're going to get rid of this thing. We're going to go... factions. What the fuck is this thing? I wonder if these get generated in order. We're going to do a for loop here, I think. We are going to do a for loop here, and we're going to go for... thank you. Factions dot count is greater. Wait, get back here. I was looking at that. Is less than. Wait, what are we doing? This is not what we're doing. If I is less than faction count. What are you doing there, buddy? Just jumping shit all over that one. I plusity. That's the technical term. I guess. Okay, wait. No, Keto is telling me something about this, and I actually think this is gonna apply the same. So he was basically telling me that when you do this equals type stuff, they're not actually like connecting the two. They're actually just pointing the two at the same memory location or something like that, which is fine. Which is actually what we want. It's less bullshit. No, that's just what we want it to be, like this, right? It's just gonna go through and it's gonna be like, hey, this faction name and color should be this one that you created right there. Is it really gonna be that easy? I don't believe me. All right, I want to test something. If I don't fill anything out here, what happens? I think it's gonna fucking explode in my face. It did not explode in my face because we had one element. And it just did it right. It did what the information. God, I love programming. It did what it knew how to do, what it could do. So we're gonna put in. Um, how many elements do we got here? 7. Okay, so the main thing, the most important thing right now is we don't give a shit about any of these because these are going to be AI things, and we're going to deal with that later. That is much, much later. The only one we care about is element 0 right now, and we're going to give him like 1,000 influence at no 0 money. We'll give him 1,000 influence. Feel like that's spelled wrong. Influence. I have a feeling that that's spelled wrong. Uh, dictionary. So sometimes when I'm looking at things like this, they no longer look like words. They're just a mess of junk. Like a mess of symbols. So what I can do, yeah, it's an E. So they know I can't compare them unless I can look at them side by side. So we have a typo in there. It's not the end of the world. We did like the French version. This one's wrong too for some reason. It didn't. That one didn't stick. Is that right now? Now it just looks like total gibberish. All right, that's right. And it's a real bummer. Like reading it, I can read it, but I can't like compare them. I can't understand. And I have some sort of reading disorder or something. Reading disorder? Yeah, I think that's what we want to call it. Okay, back to what I was doing. So we don't care about these other ones right now. They should get a sign with their faction name and color in here. Influences change. We're gonna say 1,000, and then we're gonna say like 1,000 scrap. And then where are we gonna see this shit? We're gonna put it on this upper bar, but first let's hit play and see what happens. We got our elements for the factions. We got our elements for the color name. So this should. We got those there. Let's just pick one at random. 4. Boom. Look at that shit. That color is the same. For a second, I thought the color was different. So this is great. We didn't get any bugs. I feel like we really accomplished something there. Maybe we didn't, but I feel like we did. Okay, so next we're going to go to this UI. And actually, this is the Timekeeper UI. So this never really gets turned off. I think we're going to want to put another. I don't think we want to call it Timekeeper either. I think we want to call it Top Bar or something. Top Info Bar. Now, hopefully that didn't break a bunch of shit. It could, well, let's just hit play and see what happens. No. Okay, well, at least that part didn't. So we're going to need a bunch of little text boxes in here. Excuse me. I don't know. So this pause text is actually on top of that. Oh, that isn't centered? That's weird. It's like half-ass some shit. I keep dragging these out to be about, you know, the right size because we are going to, whoops, not 40. We're going to have different size screens eventually. We could move this down a tiny bit so that it's not on this bar because we're going to be using this bar a lot. The other thing we could also do is like one of these horizontal lists that pops shit in here. So they would be farther apart at the beginning though. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's put them as text boxes. Man, this is going to be kind of like a lot of text boxes. Which is not the end of the world, but okay, so I just manually placed a lot of this shit. We're gonna do a beautification project at some point, but it's not happening today or in the next 6 months, 5 years. I wanted to look at my where I lost it. I'm thinking in do I have a screenshot of another game? I'm just curious how they're doing. Distant Worlds 2. Let's go back to this Ireland map. Does it have? I usually try not to get. Yeah, I don't. What's this? No. I interviewed the bunch of different modders for CK3. I don't think, and so that's what these screenshots are from. Generally, I'm trying not to get. This would be some Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I was just curious how they were doing their bar across the top for. I guess they don't really have resources in that. Now they have like money. It's all over. It's just on the right hand side. I'm remembering now. It's got like money. They don't have like money. Yeah, it's just on the right hand side. It says like money, prestige, piety, and it's just over here. We're gonna have more resources than that. We're gonna be more like Distant Worlds resources level. Not that much, but okay. So let's just do this. Let's just shove that shit in here. I was also thinking about something here. As the thing I was thinking about was, can we like lock in this without having two different? So with like, for example, day, we're printing the word day and then the number. We're not like, we're not just putting, I guess it doesn't matter, but it would be nice if we didn't, we weren't putting both. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just manually slap this shit in here too. So what we're gonna do here, the time buttons, we definitely want this to be date, time, what's current speed is over there. We want this to be right here. We want this to be, say, see, influence is such a long word. um, we'll have to have some sort of icon or something. And we'll put like some weird symbol here so that we know that we're doing, oh, it doesn't like that. Oh no, it does. It's in the, so that way we know we're testing when we're testing if things are working or not. So this isn't big enough. See, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be some jank shit what we're doing right now. I wonder what kind of symbol we could use for influence. Let's just Google influence influence icon. You know, there is a free icon website that I've used multiple times. There's a, I forget what it's called. None of these have been clicked on before. You know, I might have it in a notes file somewhere. It would be maybe here. I'm looking in a different game thing. Oh yeah, I was sticking all my notes and resources, which game icons. Here it is. Creative Commons 3, huh? Are you opening something? Influence. Well, probably influence. Do I still have that on my clipboard? There we go. That doesn't look like an influence. Oh no, I just copied that. Influence. Let's think here. I don't remember the Creative Commons 3. Oh, they have a link to it right here. What does it say? Okay, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So what we'll do is we'll change that into an icon, and I haven't ever done that in a UI. I kind of have. We'll find one right here real quick. Let's put like what's a synonym for influence? Fluence synonym. Effect, impact, control. Let's look at for control, a control tower. Winged arrow. Sway. What does this advanced search give us? We could use this one actually. Because it is like how you've talked them into it. Let's use this one. Like I said, we can just use the PNG here. And then the next one we're going to need is money. A money stack. Take my money. Pay money. We can use this coins one. A rupee. This one is like, you got the, let's use this one. I know it's going to be, it's post-apocalyptic, so it's a little weird with the coins there. What was the other one? Food? This one's okay because at the beginning you're going to be using a pizza slice, though. It's kind of nice. We're going to be using canned goods as our food, but it's going to change away from that slowly. We'll just do that one for now. I mean, this is all temporary stuff. And then the last one was scrap. The other thing we can do is scrap is like a gear. What if we put in junk? Because it's kind of like junk. A food truck. Okay, fallout shelter. Um, hmm. Let's go look at the gear. Well, what about aluminum? Okay. What about metal? I'm not a big fan of everything being icons these days, honestly. I know it's so that things localization is easier, but okay. So there's our four things. So how do we do this with these four things? First off, we're gonna need our project. We have a sprites folder. We'll create a new folder. We'll call it UI sprites. I guess that's kind of repetitive there. We'll pop this puppy open and we'll throw these PNGs in here. Okay, they look horrible. They look extremely pixelated. They don't there. That's fine. Okay, so the first thing we want to put up here is nothing to say, and we'll rename this to influence. And I don't know how this is how we do this, but we're gonna do it right here. It's this one. I saw something down here, sprite asset. What's this? The sprite asset used when not specifically referencing one using sprite equals asset name. I actually think there's a different way we're supposed to be doing this. I know what we're supposed to be doing here. We need to do UI image, I think. And then we're going to put influence. Is this the one? Yes. Then, oh, it's a black background. You know, let's not worry about that just yet. Like, I think this is 40. So we can go 40 by 40. Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely do like a bunch of cleanup to make this pretty, because right now it's gonna be ugly as fuck. You know what we can do here as well? Okay, so let's do this. This is gonna be influence. That looks so wrong to me. Icon. We're gonna do, this is gonna go up to here, but we're actually, let's add a canvas. And we'll slap these fuckers on the same. Well, we can actually just add an empty game object and we can do it. And then we'll just call this influence. Group? I don't want to call it group. I'll just call it influence for now. That looks so wrong to me. It's weird how my brain doesn't work. I was going to say more than that, but that pretty much sums it up. Man, that looks so wrong. It has to be wrong. Influence. Okay. And then we'll stick this over here. The reason why we're doing this is so that we can move shit around. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can move shit around without so they both will move around together like that. Even though, what is going on here? How big is this fucking thing? It's over there. Position 0, 0 here. I would like to probably 50. No, 100 is probably good. 150, I mean. And then these things, we need to, yeah, position like 0 here. And this as well. What is up with your width? That's actually pretty close. So 1,000 is what we're gonna put in here to start with, but that doesn't seem like enough. What? 200. And so this one, we can just say Alt, and it's gonna stick to the left there. You know what we could probably do is do this. I already selected you. And then we can do this right justified. Boom. So I'm so excited by that. The most simplistic thing. So I'm just gonna drag this over here. I don't know if that's probably not the way we want to do that, but so we're gonna have influence here. That seems too close. This whole thing seems gigantic. Then we're gonna duplicate this, and we're gonna call it money, right? And then we're going to go, this is going to be the money icon. Money is going to be at 0 at the beginning for pretty much forever. Money text. Put that there. We're going to change this icon. Oh, we need to rename these. Where are we going here? We need to rename this to money. Are we doing all lowercase? That's weird. Let's rename this influence. Hexagon is going to be scrap. And then food. Okay. Then back to our money icon here. What are all these fucking icons and shit, man? There must be built-in stuff. Parent bone? PSD importer? We've got some animation shit in here. I wonder why I installed the maybe it comes with it. Doesn't matter. Money. Then we're just going to drag this shit over. We're on the right one, right? Yep. Shit is ugly. 250. No, we are doing this wrong. We're going to drag this shit over. Negative 500. Let's say negative 450. Negative 400. There we go. And we'll change this to dollar signs. Look how significantly thinner a dollar sign is compared to a, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but then we're going to duplicate this. We're going to go with food. Then we're going to open this thing up. We're going to say food. Then we're going to go to this thing, and we're going to say food text. And I don't know what symbol at symbol should probably be that, but what's food in a roguelike? I can't remember anymore. I always play with graphics these days. We'll do percentiles. And then we're going to move this thing to like negative 250, negative 200, 150. See, now we're in the issue with the pause. The pause is in the way. So I guess we'll move pause. Negative 40, we'll put it right there. That's kind of a bummer because it's going to be hard as fuck to see. We could make this. Oh no, it's there. Wait. It is. It's going to be so hard to see. We can change its color to black, but I still feel like that's not going to be, and like bold it out a little bit. It's still not going to be big. We'll deal with that later. A lot of this stuff, you know, like I said, is temporary. This doesn't look very well lined up either. This looks like this thing's massive compared. They all should be the same size. 200, 200, 200. Doesn't it look like it's much larger? I think it's because the dollar sign is so skinny. They're all the same. 755. Whoops, no. I was like, 755 seems really. All right, well, then the last one is going to be our scrap here. We'll duplicate this. And we will rename this shit. And we'll change this to some other. What do we got? Exclamation points and symbols. Ampersand, the good old ampersand. Then we'll go to this. We'll drag it up here. I gotta take a piss really bad. 150, huh? See, now we're not even. Wait, what? Oh no, just 50. 100. So what is this? This is 150. That's 250. Oh, and that's 250. Okay, so whoops, we got to change this icon to scrap. Okay, so now we have. How terrible does this look? It's probably going to look really bad. It looks pretty bad. The white text is pretty bad too. But we can fix this actually with make this, 0.5 or something instead of what it was to make it a little darker. Maybe 0.75. Now I'm curious if we should put this icon on the other side. Let's not like overstress this shit, man. I'm like, what is? Oh wait, Is somebody telling me the launch is happening? 11:20. All I go T11:20. Let's go back. Did I close that or did I just YouTube relativity space launch? Oh my god, did I miss it? No, we're at 9 minutes. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll leave this rocket. We're 10 minutes away. Make this big.
Last attempt for today, and it is an instantaneous launch window.
Last attempt. All right, I'm gonna be right back in less than 5 minutes.
Stage 1 will be transitioning to helium shortly.
Stage 1 pneumatics have transitioned to helium.
Once again, that means we're pressurizing the propellant tanks to flight pressures with helium. And as a reminder, during flight, we'll be pressurizing using autogenous pressurization. Tanks are pressing for engine chill.
as we're getting into the business end, let's remind you about our launch timeline. Arwa, take it away.
So again, at T-minus 3 minutes, the transporter erector or the black truss structure behind the vehicle is going to retract just a few degrees to give the proper angle for umbilical separation. At this point, the vehicle will of course be on internal power. At T-minus 70 seconds,
igniters and flight targets.
the vehicle will go into terminal count, and this is again when the vehicle's internal flight computer takes control of the countdown. We'll then go into flight termination checks and get FTS go from the launch conductor in coordination with the mission flight control officer and operations safety manager. At T-minus 6, we're going to see that ignition one more time of those 9 Aeon-1 engines. So you'll see the flames, the blue fire, I should say, beneath the rocket.
Stage igniters burning in.
And at T0, we'll have liftoff. At T+2 seconds, the strong back is going to throw back to remove the umbilicals and clear the path for the vehicle to fly. At T+12 seconds, we'll begin our pitch over program. And then at T+80 seconds, we're going to reach max Q, or the point of maximum dynamic pressure. This is again where the structural loads on the vehicle are the highest, making it one of the more challenging phases of flight.
At approximately T plus 160 seconds, we will get to main engine cutoff. That is where the stage 1 engines will shut off, and it will be followed shortly by stage separation and Aeon vacuum engine ignition.
Man, I can barely hear this lady
Burn for a little
normally.
over 5 minutes. Then at approximately T plus 463 seconds, we'll get to second engine cutoff when that Aeon vacuum engine will shut off. And as a reminder, we do not have a fairing or any payload deployments for today's first launch. With that, we'll go ahead and sit back and listen back to Mission Control.
Okay, we'll let them talk. While I talk, I'll be quiet when they talk. But okay, so now we just need to link all this shit, which shouldn't actually be that hard.
Priming the igniters with gaseous oxygen and gaseous hydrogen. Again, our ignition system uses these propellants flowing across a glow plug.
We're gonna just create a script for this top bar. And I mean, I know we have the timekeeper one, but we're gonna do a new one called the top bar here.
5 minutes
The fuck is
away.
this? She's so excited. They're all so excited. Look at this one. There's no variables up there. We'll switch over to that in a second. I guess I could put it behind. Will that work?
GLHF, again, is our maiden launch. So a nominal flight would have Terran 1 reach orbit today, but our main goal is to learn as much as we can about this vehicle and demonstrate the product concept. A major milestone would be for us to reach max Q today, the point of maximum dynamic pressure.
All right. So on this, we're basically going to do this. All right. Maybe I should quiet them up, but I'm going to forget, and then we're going to miss it.
And the TE
We have 3 minutes.
There we go, disengaged. You'll see that cradle arm slowly start releasing stage 2.
This is the thing I was talking about earlier.
Can retract.
This thing leans back a little bit. I don't know if I want to sit here for 3 minutes. It doesn't seem that long, but when you're looking at just a rocket steaming, it could be boring. Man, my life has turned into just like, I need instant gratification at all times. Like I watch TV.
The engines gimbaling there. We're performing the final thrust vector control health checks on both stages right before liftoff. You can see stage 1
is on internal power.
Engines there.
I need to I watch TV, look at my phone, eat pizza, all these things all at the same time because I'm completely.
Retracting.
And now that black truss structure will retract just a few degrees to prepare for umbilical separation. There it goes.
What is that little thing?
Checkout.
As we we approach T-minus 2 minutes, just a reminder, the vehicle you're looking at is 85% 3D printed.
So 85. I said 82 last time, or earlier.
Those white clouds you see coming out of the rocket are due to the venting of the chilled gas from the vehicle into the humid air that we have here in Florida. That's why it condenses into vapor and it looks like clouds that are floating out. You'll also see the flare stack on the bottom right there. That is just used to vent out flammable gases.
Don't worry, flammable gases is not a big deal.
Next up, our range coordinator will ask the range for their final status.
Rock, report range status.
Range green.
We got confirmation. Range is green for launch.
They had that before, though.
On topping closeout.
Flight computer and countdown.
Obviously, this is Florida, but I don't know what part of Florida. I suppose I could look it up. Relativity space launch location. Oh, Cape Canaveral. As you would expect.
Announcement on countdown, that is the LD. We've had a board and terminal count. This is a final instantaneous T0 launch window.
Oh, Jesus
T0
Christ.
For the day. Taping up the vehicle. Thanks for playing.
It says it's $12 million per launch. That doesn't seem very expensive. What's the normal price? Did that guy say thanks for playing?
Our teams obviously gave it an amazing shot
Yep.
today, and we had high hopes for sending our Terran 1 off. But we're going to continue to take a measured approach so we can ultimately see this rocket off to max Q and beyond.
Once we have an update on the timing of our next launch attempt, we will share that via Twitter at Relativity Space. We hope you will join us again.
Okay, so that was a failure. That's kind of a bummer. I was ready to see it. Yeah. One of my friends messaged me about it. Okay, so back to what we were doing. It's okay to take a break now and then from your programming brain. It's probably actually good for you. I noticed that, like, when I take a smoke break, sometimes I think of things that I hadn't thought of before, that like things to fix and whatnot. Man, look at all this shit. Anyways, so we on this top bar here, we're gonna need these 4 things, because we're going to be changing them quite regularly. So we're going to need a public, they're not going to be static. This is going to be a text mesh text mesh pro UGUI called influence text. And then we're going to need another one. Yep, outfluence. Get the fuck out of here. Nice try. What's the next one on the list? Money. Then we're gonna do another one of those. Text. And then we're gonna do what was next on the list? Money, influence, money, food. And then we're gonna do another one of these. And this is scrap. And then up here, we're gonna have that same thing we keep. Oh, whoa! Get out of here! Um, we're going to do a public static UI top bar. And see, once again, it had, wow, hey, had that capitalized. Then we're going to put a space here. No. And then we're going to do a wake. And that's exactly what we want. And so now we can access those. Did I attach this thing on here? I don't think I did. Top info bar. Shit. I'm going to rename this. I was patiently waiting. Top info bar. And then we're going to copy this and we're going to go back to here. This thing's gone now, of course. Reopen this puppy. It doesn't like when I do that. I just noticed that's when I get a few frames lost. I doubt it's affecting anything. Maybe it is. I doubt it though. I'm gonna turn off this so that my music, you can't hear my music, because that's definitely gonna cause some weird YouTube issue. Okay, so we have this all set up now. This is gonna show, which is what we want. It's ugly as flying fuck, but that's just how it is. Now we want what's gonna be so we can't put it here because it's not created yet. We need to go into world map load. You know what we can do is we can make these getter setters. We probably should, so that every time this variable's, oh no, we can't do that. How are we going to do this? You know what we can do? Trying to think the easiest way to do this. I think we did a getter setter in one of these things, didn't we? I feel like I tried and I had some weird issue. Because what we can do is have a getter setter here that every time this changes, it nails this thing to update, the top info bar to update. The issue is, so we're not gonna the AI stuff is never gonna populate up here. This is only gonna be for your faction. So and it's currently 0 is the faction, you know, this faction 0 is ours. But that might change at some point. So we'd want to like, no, I don't think it's always, so if, I don't know. That's, I guess I should, that's going to be long down the road before we have to worry about multiplayer. So let's just get this working. We can't have it in this list though. So that's what I was thinking about. If we have the getter setter in this list, what's going to happen is when like a different faction when an AI faction, it's going to push the change to the top info bar, and we don't want that to happen. So at the beginning on world map load, can we make this a? I don't think we can. We could. These are all ints. I'm trying to think, like, do we want to put another variable here that when that gets changed, it updates? And then we just that might work. I feel like we're duplicating our work though. I don't think we can make a getter setter thing here. There's a way to do this with not delegates, events or something, but I don't know how to do it. This would probably be a good time, but it's changing from a list. So we'll just do this the way I know how to do it, which might not be the best way, but we're going to do a public int called influence well, we need both. We'll do influence, and then I haven't done a getter setter for a while. I saw one earlier somewhere. It wasn't here. I don't think I have any up here. Maybe I do. And then when that variable changes, we'll have it update the thing at the top, and we'll hard code in the 0 as being the player one. Where did I have that getter setter? I usually stick that shit towards the bottom. I don't actually know where I'm supposed to stick it. Here's one right here. I'm gonna put this on the other screen so I can reference it here. So the first thing we need is these. What did we do? Is army selected? Yeah. So we need these public lowercase. Oh, you're doing it for me here, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we got that. Then right below this, we'll put public int influence. Wait, not like that though. And we'll do, yep, that like that. We'll do return. Whoa, not that one. Influence. Yep, yep, just like that. And then set influence equals value. Yep. And man, we have a lot of stuff in that. This shouldn't be that complicated, honestly. This will be, if this is set, then we're gonna do influence text dot text equals influence dot to string. So every time that influence is changed, we're going to update that thing at the top. So let's try this one time before we get too fucking excited here. And where will we do that? So that we'll do that in world map load. We'll create a new method. Right here, we'll just say first run top bar info. Top info bar. And then we'll say, because this should all be created at this point, UI top info bar dot instance dot influence equals factions 0. What are you getting mad at me for? Influence. There we go. And then if we look back at this, We can close this down. Actually, I guess we could close all these down here. This should be assigned, and then it should be 1,000. So let's hit play and see what happens. It's probably gonna have a freak out because I forgot a step. I think I forgot like 5 steps, honestly. Yep, I did. Time was passing there. We forgot to put these. Where is it? We forgot to. Oh, did I not attach this to anything? Well, then what the fuck was it freaking out? Oh, I know what it was freaking out about. It doesn't. It didn't know what that shit was. Okay, so we're gonna need. This needs to go to influence text, and then money text. Ah, you fucking asshole. Then money text. Whoa, whoa. Top info bar. Then money text. Oh no! Shit. I somehow dragged that down here. Money text. Food text. Scrap text. I forgot that this was, so now we got 1,000. Man, that gap is pretty large. It's pretty ugly too. So what we can do now though is just make 4 more of these things, or 3 more of these things. And we'll go, this is gonna be money. This is gonna be money. This is actually not that much. This copying and pasting this is not that much faster. We probably could search inside the will it do this? Yes. What is this? Food? Oh, there's only that one, but we can search. Okay, then this one, we'll just change this one manually. This is scrap. Nope, no, it is not. It is scrap. And then we're going to search influence and change it to scrap. Now, that should be all set. What does it think I should be doing here? Wonder why it wants the little arrows. It doesn't want them on these ones. I feel like we have a bug in here and I'm not recognizing it. Is that saved? We saved that shit though. So let's go back to world map load. And then every time we'll just like make it, well, this is also another one that's probably not worth. Dot instance dot hey. Yep. Nope. This is the wrong order. This one should actually be food. And I could have just copy pasted that, but whatever. Overly critical, you know? There's no reason to see. This one has the same thing. Oh, these are lowercase. We don't need those to be. Let me think about this. These don't have to be public, do they? They can be private, I think. Let's look at my other code that I was looking at. What happens if I make this private? Is it gonna be like, no, you son of a bitch? Well, let's try it just with that one, and we'll see if that causes some kind of chaos. Food. I think the whole point of making, not the whole point, but one of the mini points is you can make those private. We have this paused thing turn on here. So that worked. That is really ugly, though. Just click some other stuff to see what happens. So currently, though, the way we have this set up is that faction 0 always has to be the player faction, which is kind of, because when we're done, we're gonna have like 500 factions. So we don't want it to go through the list and say like, hey, is this the player faction? That's fine. Or we can set up a different list just for the player faction, which actually might be necessary. Let's put that in our notes. I'm gonna call it a day here. We've actually like got way more than I thought we would do today. Should the player faction be in its own class / list? It's kind of interesting. We can add stuff here. So this is, we actually did this. That seems like too good to be. Oh shit, it's gonna put that in some weird spot. Okay, I grabbed it in time. Each county should have 3 biomes. And that once we get to here, we're gonna really have like a lot of the basic building blocks done. I'm gonna fix these text things though. Not fix them, make them better. We have them right justified. Maybe if we center them, they'll look. Yeah, see, this is the issue. What we should do, I guess, is move this to there on each one. Yeah, that's not gonna work. And then we'll center these guys up. And I think it'll make this extreme ugliness a little less ugly. There we go. They're all centered now. That one's not fucking centered. The fuck out of here with that. It says it's centered. What's this big gap then? We could squish these a little closer is what's happening. How much closer can we squish them? This whole thing is 200. And we're putting an extra, no. Yeah, we're putting an extra 50. Yeah, let's do that. Let's squish these guys a little bit closer to. Oh, right. This is, I was like, why isn't it's compounding? They're being added together. Why is this one at negative 80? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing here. That's why that's at negative 80. Negative 50, huh? It still looks so far off, but let's hit play and see now. And having it maximize is good because we can get like a good feel here. That looks better. You know, like I said, this is all temporary shit. That paused isn't actually bad either. This is still pausing. What happens if we click this again? We can't click on that stuff. Like everything, this has happened the past couple times in stream. I don't know why everything's coming out 20s, as I like to say. It's weird. So that's it for this right now. Let's save this shit. This is like, I feel very impressed with myself. I'm basically giving myself a hand job right now. So we're gonna do this one next. Yeah, this is something we might not need. We might not need a army info panel. Or we might not need it turned on. Let's do county improvements after that. Then we're going to do exploration after that. Sometimes I rearrange this in between streams. Okay, so this is the biomes will be related to improvements too. So the biomes will, you know, they'll be like ruins, forest, desert, coastal, you know, like that type of thing. And each county will have 3 different biomes. And the way I was thinking about it doing it, like if the first biome is forest, they'll get 3 open spots to build stuff for forest. If the second one will get 2 spots of that, and then the third one they'll get 1 spot. So for Portland, it's going to be like the first one will be ruins, so they'll have 3 ruins to deal with. The second one will be forest, so they'll have 2 forests, and the third one will be farm, so they'll have 1 farm to build in, and then we can do the county improvements. So that's why we needed like to get some stuff done here with the. Oh, I already closed Unity. I was going to show you why we were doing the. Did I have research on here? Good God. I feel like I must. Research? Oh no, that's not gonna. We don't have research on here. That's crazy. Research. So that's why we had to do whatchamacallit first. The resources that we got is because we need those resources so that they can build something. We need the biome so that they can build stuff. So before we get to county improvements, we'll do this, then we'll do that. I have a feeling this biomes might be much more of a pain than I think. Maybe not, but we'll see. So let's push this shit to a new branch. And we're going to call it, I had a thought of this earlier and then it immediately left my brain. County, no, what did we just do? We made faction. faction junk. No, faction. Because I want to use these like last two things in this branch too. So this is like some sort of growth. Faction. I guess they're in fact, or county improvements is what that is. County, we just went through that whole thing. Because this is just all, I don't think that's how you spell improvements, but who cares? The foundation of county improvements set up. Faction such as faction resources. All right, we're going to commit all this shit. We're going to push it. And now give me some warning. But that's it. We're set for now. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Have a good afternoon. Oh, wait. Good day. Good life. Have a good life. And fuck you. No. All right, bye.